Hello everyone, welcome back to another Train Sim World 6 video. Today we are back on Firefly Simulation's Medway Valley line, and we are doing a double-headed service with the Class 66 shed, pulling some Cargo Line Volume 2 HOA aggregates wagons filled to the brim from here at Tonbridge up to Allington Hanson Aggregates Yard, where they will be unloaded. We won't do the unloading because, to be honest, that's quite boring and doesn't make for good footage. You're just moving the wagon, you decouple the wagons, you move some of them through at 5 miles an hour, then you couple up to the other batch and move through at 5 miles an hour. It's honestly not very entertaining, so I thought we'd do the run from Tonbridge up to Allington. The service we're doing is 6 Oscar 81, if you're wondering. And the specific 66 we're driving today is the 66/7 in GBRf blue and yellow, as included in SprattyHeath's Class 66 Megapack mod, and all other PC-only mods will be linked in the description. Yeah, basically I got this mod because I was getting absolutely tired of seeing DB and the EWS sheds everywhere, and it was just driving me a bit nuts, so I wanted some more color variation. So, yeah. Also, I unlocked Grampus, which is the JGV box hopper wagon, whatever, that's preserved at Maidstone West, and hopefully we'll see that today. So, let's hop in and get started. We want banking com. Oh, I almost forgot to do the safeties. Always do the safeties before everything else. Where is it? There we go. Instrument lights. Headlights today running. Releasing automatic brake. Well, actually I should have direct brake on because we are at a red signal at the moment. Okay. Okay, I think we can afford to release the brakes now. So yeah, among other things, it adds this very nice, the SprattyHeath mod adds this nice headlight cluster onto the front, which is very cool. Let's just have a look. Is it a train in Tonbridge that's causing this hold up? No, it's not. It's just, we don't have a DRA, so... Oh, I almost forgot. I need to set the brake timing to goods, because that's what it's set on by default for some weird reason. And let's go. Watching that revs. Oh boy, even in notch 1 we almost over-revved, but yeah. So yeah. I do like the Cargo Line Volume 2 HOAs because they are, despite all purportedly being all the same kind of wagon, they all are slightly different because of the graffiti on them, which adds a little bit nice touch of realism. And the variety of graffiti that can spawn is pretty cool, and I believe the graffiti is also dynamic as well, which is pretty nice. Our maximum speed today will probably be 50 miles an hour, 50 or 60 miles an hour, and once we get onto Medway it will be 45 I mean. And because of a current bug with the route, we have to keep a sharp eye out for speed restrictions because they don't show up on the track monitor for freight trains. Any speed limit, a lot of speed limit changes just don't show up on the track monitor for freight trains. Not entirely sure why that's a thing. It's also a bug. That's also a bug that's afflicted Cajon Pass for many years, which hasn't been fixed, but hopefully Firefly can fix this one. Passing through Tonbridge, 19 miles an hour. Have I got the map zoomed out? Yes, I do. Oh. Well, during the time we were under the bridge, the fog magically vanished. basically we'll be in a slight uphill bit until just after the eastern extremity of the Tonbridge Yards, and then we'll have a constant downhill slope all the way to Paddock Wood, and then we're down to either 15 or 25 miles an hour. I think it's 25 into onto the Medway Valley line, and then we're up to 45 again. To notch 8 of thrust. This is one of the 2 freight trains that you can play on this line. The other type are aviation fuel trains with the Cargo Line Volume 1 TEA tanker wagons. So yeah, basically for all the freight services to show up and not just like local runs, you need Cargo Lines Volumes 1 and 2, which I held off on getting for the longest time, but honestly I'm glad I invested in them, because they are, if you get over the fact that they're not new wagons to the game, they are very decently done and high quality, and I think Skyhook did a decent job with them. Right. As during the eastern extremity of the yard, we're clear up to 60 miles an hour. Also, another thing about the Cargo Line packs is we always get a realistic end of train lamp as well, which is yeah, sometimes that's unreliable on other UK freight wagons. As I record this video, there's actually a Cargo Line Volume 6 in the works. It appears to be, from the one screenshot Skyhook has shown, to be a VTG gas tanker, and it's going to be German, the first German Cargo Line pack, and it's also going to and it looks as though it might be on the Feldsicher Ludwigsbahn Mannheim Kaiserslautern, so we'll see if I get it, because I don't have the Feldsicher Ludwigsbahn, and I do not have any intention to ever get it, because oh boy, that route has some major issues to this day, and it includes the wrong version of the Ice 3 to boot that ran on that line in real life. Anyway, wait, we're still going uphill. I thought we were about to, I think no, now we're heading downhill. It's rare to see double-headed shed trains in this game, so quite nice to see. Also nice to see that all the I think all of the sheds in this game now have dynamic suspension enabled by default, which is really nice. Considering the shed is what, going on for 9 years old in this game, the modeling, texturing, sounds, dynamic suspension, etc. is pretty decently done. I just wish that, yeah, we would get more modern UK freight locomotives in this game, because the only one that we do have besides this is the Class 90 by Alan Thompson Sim, and I will not touch that with a 10-foot barge pole, because, yeah, firstly, it's an absolute terrible product, and then Alan Thompson seems to have thrown their customers under the bus by not updating it and doing radio silence, promising to update it and then just vanishing, which is just unforgivable. Notch 4, perhaps? Notch 3? 10 miles to go, but that is in a straight line, you will remember. So yeah, we don't have any speed restrictions to worry about until Paddock Wood, and that should be a should be down to 40 miles an hour and then 25. Oh. Not sure why the sound cut out for a second there. I think that might be because my computer's missing. It's currently got its Wi-Fi card disabled. I'm waiting. I have to wait till Saturday for the replacement to arrive. So I think it's even though it's disabled, it's still causing visual and audio stutters, and I'm not entirely sure why. But yeah, I can't do anything about it until Saturday. yeah, so this is, if you're wondering the service, this is 6 Oscar 81 Watley Quarry to Allington Hanson Aggregates Part 1. We're not doing, of course, not doing Part 2. Oh, wait, what? No, that's the parking brake. It's just parking brake release, please. Because we're not doing Part 2 because that just involves unloading everything, all of the aggregates from the wagons, which is interesting, but it's very, very boring, as I stated in the intro. So, let's get just a tad of the automatics on the way. Okay, so it looks as though we're down to 25, I believe. So yeah. At the moment, of course, we're travelling along the southeastern main line around to the Medway Valley for the rest of the trip, and we won't go on the Chatham main line today, unlike in the last video. Slow down gently. You have to be very careful with the automatic brakes. If you put too much on, you just won't be able to release them and your train will come to a stop. It's very annoying, but it is what it is. Slow down all the way to 25, just because I want to be careful, you know? Let's release the automatic brake with 5 miles an hour to go. And let the direct brake do the rest, because that can release a lot quicker. See? Yeah. Doing a lot better than I was in the last video. Came to a stop like 3 times or something. Alright, here's Paddock Wood. I wonder what Firefly have got next. Ooh, there's a 375 parked in the bay there. Just came in. Let's see. If you're coming out of the bay platform, you'd be having to do 15 miles an hour. Not us. But speaking of modern UK freight locomotives, there is one other one in the works. There is a Freightliner officially licensed Freightliner Class 70 currently in the works by All Aboard Studios, and they haven't released much information about it. Just one short video of it doing a startup sequence with barely any visuals. But honestly, All Aboard have a decent track record. Sorry, but not sorry for the pun there. All Aboard do have a decent track record. It's just that, yeah. Well, the Class 805 seems to be an all-around decent product, and I've got it on my wish list. And Trent Valley hopefully will be good too. I'm just hoping they can fix Birmingham to Crewe and ensure that Trent Valley doesn't have the problems that Birmingham to Crewe does. Okay, we're up to 45 miles an hour. And we have to be ultra careful and look out for speed limit restrictions, because they would show up on the track monitor. We've honestly been doing a pretty good jump so far, coming off coming off the down gradient onto the southeastern main line. That is honestly pretty good. And despite the number of wagons, how long is our train actually? Hang on, if we have a look at the overview, 411 yards. So that's not too long as double headers go. I think the longest UK freight train that you can haul with the shed is the JNA and HOA double trains on Great Western Express Remastered in the 2017 timetable, which, yeah, despite being double headers, you're basically hauling like a 30 coach long train. Not coach, wagon. But yeah, you get my point. Going through Maidstone? We are going through Maidstone. So yeah. Just have to keep a very sharp eye out for speed limit restrictions and for whistle boards. Honestly, yeah. I hope at some point that the shed gets the Class 66 sounds that Armstrong Powerhouse did in their Class 66 Enhancement Pack 2.0, because these are currently the sounds of the Enhancement Pack 1.0. which aren't as good as the ones that AP were able to procure for their Enhancement Pack 2.0, but they're still decent sounds, mind you. Sound far better than the sounds the 66 originally came with when Great Western Express and East Coastway came out, which were sourced from the Class 66 that Dovetail did for TS Classic, which had far worse sounds. But thankfully those have been updated with the new AP sounds and dynamic suspension, so there's now pretty much feature parity across the entire Shed fleet, apart from the direct rail services and Ocean Network Express ones by River Games, which don't have dynamic suspension to this day, which is why I don't drive them that much. Don't think I've ever done a video with the Ocean Network Express one. Okay, let's actually get some automatic brakes on, because we are, thank you, coming up on yielding. Actually, I want to release the automatic brake. Yeah, there's yielding in a mile-ish. And that's a, if I remember correctly, that's a 20-mile-an-hour limit through yielding, due to the unique level crossing it has. And we have to be very careful, because the track monitor doesn't show the speed restrictions that the Class 66 has for some reason. And then the speed limit will change and you'll have no idea why. Because, yeah, it's just the track monitor just doesn't want to show it. Hopefully that's something Firefly can fix. If they're watching this, I really hope they can. Yeah, I think we might have slowed down a little bit early, but just being cautious here. I'm learning the route. Wait a minute. Nope, no signs. Also, I'm being careful due to the foggy conditions. I can't see anything like more than, say, 300 meters ahead of me. Let's actually do notch 2 just to try to maintain 20 miles an hour. 6.3 miles to go. So yeah, there's the 20 warning board for the level crossing. Not entirely sure why the crossing is like this, but it is that Firefly did an absolutely excellent job of making this route feel like its real counterpart from footage I've seen. So yeah, my light indicates level crossing is working. Wish we could have level crossing failures on other routes besides Niddetalbahn and Mittenwaldbahn, but yeah. In Niddetalbahn and Mittenwaldbahn, there's actually a 1% chance in timetable mode for a level crossing to fail, and you have to hop out and manually activate it yourself. I think our next speed restriction is at Maidstone, but we'll just have to see. Back up to 45, but we have to wait for the entire train to pass, of course. Let's do notch 6, I think that's reasonable. Just make sure your bill's released. Will notch 7 work? Yes, it will. Keeping a close eye on the ammeter just to make sure we don't over rev. So yeah, we've got 5.5 miles from here to here in a straight line, but we do have to go a bit further than that because the line twists and turns a bit. I just wish Dovetail could update this distance counter to actually represent the actual distance to be traveled and not just the distance in a straight line. It's especially obvious on very mountainous winding routes like the Semmeringbahn or Bernina or Rosa lines, because those lines wind so much that you're going a considerable distance further than the actual indicated distance left, which is very annoying. Oh, there's a tractor waiting here for us. Very nice. Yeah. Is that a cell tower? Or maybe it could be a yeah, I'm not entirely sure what that is. I hadn't noticed it before. I think we might have actually, I think we might have a speed restriction coming up. Any sign of a speed limit sign? Yeah. As you can probably tell, I've been having an absolute blast with Medway. Genuinely. Excuse me. I think it's a superb route, and Firefly did an absolutely amazing job. Basically, this speed restrictions bug for freight trains on the track not showing up on the track monitor is basically like the only major bug I've encountered on the route. Let's just slow down to 30 miles an hour just in case, because I seem to remember there is a speed restriction at the station just up here. There's some boats on the Medway. A lot of boats on the Medway. My goodness. Any limit restrictions? Hello? I don't see any signs for him. I think I might have just slowed down for no reason. Back up to notch 7. Back up to notch 8. There we go. The modern UK freight locomotive, which I want to see in train sim mode, but I doubt we'll get it at least for a while, is the new Stadler built Class 93 that Rail Operations Group uses, because not only is it ultra modern and the most powerful locomotive operating in the UK today, but it also can operate on overhead power, battery power, or diesel power, which basically means it would be able to run on any UK route in the game. Third rail route, it's got battery power for it. Overhead wires, it's got a pantograph. And then if you run out of battery power, you just switch over to diesel and carry on going. So, and because it's so powerful, it can haul basically anything. That'd be a lot of fun to use. I was hoping that we would get a Class 93 with Train Sim World 6. Don't know what route it would have gone with, but it would have been nice to see at any rate. I keep thinking those whistle boards are speed limit restrictions. They aren't. They're just the same size and the same shape. And this route has so many whistle boards. It's so nice to be able to just blast your horn constantly. Notch 2, 3.5 miles to go. Actually shut it off. We are, yeah. I just love Medway. Is it the most distinctive route in the game? No. Is it the most beautiful route in the game? No. Is it one of the best routes in terms of quality? Absolutely. Like, I could recommend this route hands down at full price. Like, not even joking. Like, it hasn't gone on a sale yet for the Steam on any platform, but I could still recommend it at full price. And now that the Class 375 audio bug is fixed on PlayStation, I can highly recommend it on PlayStation 5 too, as this route is incredibly well optimized, and I haven't heard any reports of blurry textures. Mind you, I don't have a console, so I can't verify those claims, but from what I've heard from actual console players, it seems to be working quite well. Yeah, I do have Grampus unlocked, viewers, so we should see that cute little JGV wagon at Maidstone West in a moment. Looks like we go down to 40. I don't trust it. I think I'll slow down to 20. Go around to around 4.2 on the brake, but on ye old brake pipe. Let's actually go down to 4.5. Just monitoring my brake gauge. I'm not taking any chances of speed restrictions on this line, so I'm operating a lot more cautiously than usual. Let's go to around 4.7. I know this is probably going to take a bit longer than advertised, but than in the timetable menu, I mean, but I'm not taking any risks about overspeed. I seem to have gained far better mastery of the automatic brake. There's a 375. No third rail sparks, which is a bit of a shame. Right, what do you... Oh, we could have stayed at 40? Are you serious? Oh, well. That's pretty funny. Could have stayed at 40 that entire time. But as I said, I'm not taking any chances. Wait a minute, this isn't Maidstone. This is East Farleigh. What am I thinking? Thought this was Maidstone, and so I needed to go down to 15. It wasn't. I think I'm using a lot more fuel, accelerating up to speed, than I otherwise would. Yeah, I'm not trusting the track monitor one bit. Through East Farleigh. Back up to 45. I'm pointing at each speed limit like a Japanese train driver would. If you've seen videos, like, Japanese drivers point at every signal and every speed restriction, and I'm imitating that in a British locomotive. That's pretty funny now that I think about it. Two and a half miles to go. 45. So yeah, we're coming up on Maidstone West pretty soon, so I'll keep an eye out for any speed limit restriction signs. Just make the most of the 45 limit while we can. Nope. There's a 30 limit. That's presumably Maidstone West, but yeah, just keep an eye out. Sharp eye out, especially due to the fog. Can't see as far ahead as you otherwise would. Oh, hello, speed limit restriction. 30 miles an hour. Okie dokie. And that's 30 miles an hour for both passenger and freight trains, which is nice. So yeah, that's into one of the curves into Maidstone, I believe. I should release the direct brake. Yeah. See, if you want to do a gentle slowdown between 4.5, so like between 4.5 and 4 bar on the brake pipe pressure is advised. Yeah, it looks as though we have a 30 limit through Maidstone West and not 15 as I thought. I really do need to learn this route better. I hope PTG Rail makes a video doing on this route. I think I said that in the last video, and I'll say it again because he's probably the bloke with the most forensic attitude toward route learning. Okay, it is a 15 limit, but only if we go off toward one of the passenger platforms. If we're heading through one of the central platforms, it's still 30 miles an hour. And now, oops, discard that. Can we see Grampus? So there's Grampus right there. That's the mastery reward. Can I... Ooh. I think we're a bit too late. Hang on. No. Hit the brick wall. Bit limited on... I think I might have to widen the field of view here just to include Grampus and the shed. Yes. That's actually a good shot. Genuinely. Save it and upload that to Dovetail Railfan shots. Why not? And then also take that for my own purposes. For a screenshot, you know? Oh, it wouldn't get published, though. It wouldn't appear in Railfan shots, though, would it? Because it's licensed. Oh, well. It's fine. So, yeah, through the tunnel here. Fog magically disappears, and then fog magically reappears. Wow! Yeah, I don't get that. Why does the fog disappear when you go into a tunnel or under a bridge, even if it's a short one? Back up to 45, approaching Maidstone Barracks. Actually, I actually forgot to mention this before. I've got a special series of videos in collaboration with Liam Does Simulation 08 coming out soon. Basically, he and I are doing a trip across Europe. He's driving a Flix bus in Flixbus Coach Simulator, and I'm driving the Flix train Vectron in Trainsim World on the 3 routes that it layers onto, namely Kinzig-Tarbahn, Köln-Aachen, and what is the other one? Kassel-Würzburg. That's the one. 1.5 miles to go until our stop at Allington. So yeah, we've got 2 stops as indicated, and then track 1 in the sidings. Gotcha. So do we go like a little past it? So yeah, here's Allington sidings. Okay, we go past it and stop on the line, and then I presume we reverse it. I'll probably use like the slow speed control, which means I should probably turn you back on. Parking brake is released. Thank you kindly. So let's put you down to notch 4 just so we don't have as much acceleration. We want slow speed control. We'll turn you on in a minute once we stop the train. Actually, let's go up to try and go as fast as possible. So, we'll use slow speed control. It's very helpful when moving stuff in and out of yards, even if it's slower than the limit, because you always can go the exact speed that you need to. And it's very, very helpful. Oh, nice. Boats on the Medway. I love the number of boats on the Medway. It's so nice. Right, 0.9 miles has actually cut the power. Let's actually slow down to around 30 miles an hour. We have a long freight train today, so I'm not taking any chances with slowing down too slowly. And I'm starting the braking well before I would in a passenger unit. So yeah, my favourite service in Medway is Strood to Tonbridge or vice versa in the 375, probably the stroke 3. That's the start of Allington Aggregates Yard, so we'll be reversing our train in there. Let's get like 4.7, 4.8 bar on... Is it bar? Yes, it's bar. On the brakes, just as precaution. And we do have a red signal, so we do have to pay attention to that. Yeah. If you're getting close to a red signal, a Japanese train that is equipped with ATS will go ding dong, ding dong, ding dong, ding dong. Basically indicating to the driver you are approaching a red signal. It's basically like a auditory cue, just as a constant reminder, you know? Which I think is a very good idea. The UK AWS system can be shall we say, yeah, interesting when it comes to that. Basically, TPWS is basically the last line of defense, and that's basically it. Anyway, unless your train is equipped with ETCS, of course, which a few British trains are. I know for certain Transport for Wales Class 158s that operate on certain railways are equipped with ETCS. But as far as I know, there is only one train in any train simulator that has a properly simulated ETCS system, and that is the ED2, the PKP oh boy, ED250 Pendolino. Overshot it a bit, but we've got a long distance till the signal, so let's just... oh my word. Wasn't paying attention. We still have far to go to the signal, we're good. Put you in neutral. While we release the brakes, let's start up in slow speed control. Oh, no, I need to switch you on. Put the slow speed rocker switch to 5 miles an hour, let's say. Let's actually put you down to 5 miles an hour. Versa handles for extra travel. Yes. Start. Here we go. So yeah, the Pendolino in SimRail is actually equipped with you know, with a properly simulated ETCS. But oh, we're over revving. There we go. Yeah. Oh, we do have a 5 mile an hour limit. Okay. It's actually contact signaler. Proceed at restricted speed. Oh. So yeah, it's a gate, so we have to be careful that we're not going past the gate. Let's just leave it in notch 1 for now. Good thing I turned on the slow speed control. This is actually a perfect scenario for slow speed control. Let's have a look. Where are we going into? We're going in there, and then we're going into the track closest to the Medway itself. Okie dokie. So we've got 0.6 miles at 5 miles an hour. Lovely. Let's actually increase it to 10, just temporarily, just to... Actually, no. No. Let's just leave it at 5. Boom. Just make sure we can proceed at restricted speed. Oh, we actually are supposed to stop there. In real life, we'd have stopped at that marker and telephoned the signaler, but that's not simulated, so we don't have to do that. Wish I had included that as an option, but yeah, it is what it is. Yeah, this is perfect for slow speed control. The only other train with simulated ETCS that I can think of is the RABE 523E in SBB colors by Rivet Games on the S-Bahn Centroche Fights route, which apparently is incredibly buggy because SBB were really restrictive on the what parts of ETCS can be simulated, which can't. And that's in Train Sim World. What are you? Loco to stop here. Oh, that'd be very helpful on you know, if you're driving from the cab, but since I'm not doing this realistically, let's just back her in. There's the aggregates unloader right there, by the way. Don't know if it'll unload the aggregates while we're going through. We'll see. Do like the running sounds of the HOAs. Flange noise, track joint sounds, they're all very good. We have to do 3,000 to 3,500 amps just to maintain our speed. My word. See if the... Okay, so let's just actually move the camera like here so we can see the aggregates getting removed if that's what we're going to have to... If that's what we're going to do. Just make sure that we can proceed. Uh-oh. I think when I last checked, it said we could proceed at restricted speed, so I'll assume we can proceed. Yeah, you can't hear the horn of my locomotive for that far away. Thank goodness for slow speed control, otherwise this would have been quite the slog. Are the aggregates going to unload? No, it doesn't appear that they are. I think that's for part 2 of this service, which we're not going to do today. Okay, we've passed that proceed at restricted speed signal. Where is that signal? Oh, it must be a signal that's only on the track monitor because it's not here when I look for it. Just under 600 yards to go. There has to be a service coming from the south, like it's class 375. Oh yeah, there he is. He's just pulling into East Farley, heading to Strood. Yeah, I don't think we'll see him. I think we'll be parked by the time he arrives. Yeah, apart from my absolutely atrocious stop on the main line, which thankfully didn't cause any issues with like running past red signals or anything, I think we're going to have, because we're going so slowly, I think we'll have a pretty good stop. Yeah. Let's actually, oh, local to stop here. Let's actually stop. Okay. Good thing I checked, because yeah, we're supposed to stop. And there we go. No on-time bonus, obviously, but no points lost to speeding, which is pretty good. We lost 300 points last time. And we followed all the speed restrictions accurately. We got a 261 accuracy bonus. And yeah, that'll be all for this video, everyone. Thank you all so much for watching. Don't forget to like, subscribe, hit the bell for notifications. Please do become a channel member if you could afford it to gain access to exclusive content. And I'll see you all in the next one. Goodbye.